That's a beautiful feeling. Is when you go, I have a comma in my bank account. Woo! Oh!
Honestly, when that direct deposit hits, it's the best feeling. But
You're like-
usually it happens at like 3 a.m., so I'm about to go to sleep, and I'm like, oh shit, I should buy everything. Wait, I have a whole week. I should probably take it easy.
I have bills to pay.
A couple days ago, they called me off, so like, hey, do you want to set up direct deposit? And I was like,
Fuck yeah!
well, I was sitting there, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't cash my check at Kroger anymore. Hell yeah, I want to set up direct deposit.
Walk into
But
Kroger,
fill this out.
you should walk to the Kroger and be like, I need to cash this check.
I went in there.
I mean, changing jobs is crazy because we all are changing jobs very
Yeah.
soon. So yeah, well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, we're all moving on to bigger and better things, and so should you.
Yeah, you should probably stop watching now because it's gonna go downhill pretty
They
quickly.
don't need to stop watching now. They need to sit down and grab a stone.
Keystone!
And then continue watching. Except if you're under 21, then you can have a nice, refreshing Dasani water bottle that I already drank and I refilled with my refrigerator water.
Fuck Dasani! Burn down a building! Quit your job, Keystone!
Open a Keystone. Bro,
Well-
stone me. Stone me, bro.
I think he's talking to you.
Stone me, bro.
Time to get stoned!
I'll add a good effect there. I'll add a good sound effect. Well, you had a great cast of characters today. There are only 3 of us here. Nobody next to me, which I enjoy. Rocco, how's it going? Jeremy, Jago, hanging out over there, and
Jago.
Mitchell the boss, Samito.
Back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about this, but, I mean, Jago's been my nickname for a long time. I've had nicknames before Jago, but it's been my most recent nickname until recently.
I think it's the only nickname I know you by.
That makes sense.
All
But,
stones.
at my new job, they gave me a new nickname.
Oh, there's a new one coming.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm still gonna go by Jago. Jago's
It-
timeless.
It could be better. Let's
No,
hear
it's
it.
not. It's Mellow Yellow.
Mellow yellow?
Because of the car.
Oh, because your car.
Nah,
The car is now mellow yellow.
Alright.
Jago rides in the mellow yellow mobile. I think that works.
Grab a Mellow Yellow!
Well, let's not get too crazy here. We're trying to get one sponsorship.
Get mellow!
Let's mellow out.
Fuck your dad's cruise! Mellow Yellow!
You're just gonna end that after the first statement. I was like, whoa. Let's just keep the Keystone going, all right?
Wait, you thought you were just gonna roll up with "fuck your dad's"?
Fuck your dad!
That's what I thought we were gonna leave.
Fuck your dad.
Alright. Well, honestly, it doesn't look that bad without the green screen, but we'll have something nice and fresh. We'll have something nice and fresh next week, which should be cool.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it. It was the one I sent, the last one I sent. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see what that looks like
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes in, whatever it is. So that's
Hopefully
a
it looks
teaser,
good.
I guess. So, yeah, I think it will. I think it should. I got the right settings. Should be nice, high quality print. So
that shit at 1080p.
1080p. Yeah.
Nah, bro, that shit's
Even though it's
that
it's
shit's
a
60
banner.
frames a
It's a
second.
banner.
That shit's 60 frames a second.
You put it closer, you're like, wow, what's the frame rate? If you wrap it over your eyes, actually, it's 90 frames, so it's VR.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So it's
If
like real life. Yeah.
So the problem is people were wrapping it over their eyes and getting headaches.
Yeah, that was the big thing, and that's why we got rid of the green screen. Yeah, we do have a great show. We have all of our cast of characters today.
I don't know about a great show.
No, it's a great show
Okay,
because my name's on it. It's a great show.
every show's a great show with Keystone.
Well, that's the only time we've had Keystone. We should Keystone, the official beer of Rocco's Basement.
Keith, we're speaking directly to you now.
Keith, I want you to look at me.
All right, turn the cameras off the records. Keith, we're looking at you.
We're looking at you.
So, my dog attacked a bird today. Like a bird's nest.
Anakin?
Like a family. Yes, Anakin attacked a family. of
Anakin,
birds.
no!
Yeah, no, Anakin, no. So, I had my family come over today.
Even the younglings?
He attacked the young. You know what? He
Not just
attacked
the men, but the women and the children.
You know, my dog Anakin. He brutally attacked some birds, and it was kind of crazy. So I had family over, and we were leaving. I was just gonna walk the dog, and I walk him out front near where I have all the bushes and the tree out there, and I'm saying goodbye to everybody, and then he's like tugging on me with the leash, and I'm like, what the fuck is he? There must be something back there, because previously there's been like dead animals back there or whatever the fuck, or just dog shit that he wants to go investigate.
Right.
But he pulled me, and I'm like, what is this? So I'm just yanking it back. I don't even see what he's doing. But then I see little flaps. Hear little squeaks, and I'm like, that's probably just him just getting the breath pulled out of him. Okay, hold on. Leashes are the most savage things invented for animals. All right?
The most savage thing, they got people leashes now. They got those little baby leashes.
Yeah, but those aren't to their necks.
No, they're like kid harnesses, which is kind of fucked up.
Those
like
are still pretty savage.
When you think about it, it's lazy. It's just lazy parenting.
Yeah, it's lazy parenting, but it's like I always feel like that kid's gonna like turn out retarded or something just because he's got a baby leash. Like
he
got tugged one too many times.
No, he's you're just like, oh wow, that kid must be a handful.
Mrs. Cooper, I'm sorry. You tugged on that leash too many times. He's retarded now.
You know what they say? One tug's okay, two tugs too many. No, so there's little birds, and I guess he started nipping at them, and he was nipping out their wings, and it was during the stage of their life where they get kind of pushed out of the nest, and most of them just fall to the ground. I don't know if you knew that. They don't fly. It's not like cinematic like it is in the movie. They just
it's not like
to the ground.
I've seen the hit Zack Snyder movie Guardians of Gahul. I know what happens.
He can fly.
Okay. So, yeah, you've been taught the birds and the birds.
Yeah, they fall to the ground and then something happens. I don't remember the rest of that.
Well, usually they just hit the ground and wait for their mom to bring them back. Like, you fuckers, you failed me.
Yeah, and then they get taken to the Nazi slave camp, like in Guardians of Gahul.
Oh, they do.
You're really on that movie, aren't you?
He's pushing it. It's like been 3 weeks and he's pushing it. No, so he was biting it on, pulled it back, and I was like, what the shit? And we go over to see this bird, it's like, gah! Gah! And I'm like, well, that bird is gonna die. And it is like flat as can be on the ground, and my dad was there, and of course Mark, my 10-year-old brother, was roaming around. He's like, oh my god, there's a little baby, go. And I don't know if you know this, but Dr. J, I know where he got his official doctorates.
Oh yeah,
he knows animals.
Yeah,
and not only does he know animals, he especially knows birds.
Do you not remember when he nursed that bird back to life and then released it into the wild like some strange movie character?
I was gonna say, like in every movie where someone is being sympathetic.
He's the bird whisperer. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Kale's dad, a crazy human being, an insane man. My dad's like, just go get Joey. Just go get Dr. J.
No, your dad didn't just say that. Your dad was like, go get Joey. Go get Joey. Go get Joey.
Also, my dad was like, it's a fucking bird.
What the fuck? Matthew, what'd you fucking do? What, you stomp the bird or something?
I left out. He says, go pick up the fucking bird. Just throw it. It'll fly. Swear to God, that's what he said.
That sounds like your dad.
That's more like it. But then he's like, just go tell Dr. J has birds. He has more birds than he does children. So, and he sends Mark, and Mark is like, oh my God, the little bird. So he runs and goes, knocked on the door across the street. Dr. J obviously comes out. He drives over his medical van, comes out with the actual doctor, his wife. And Dr. J comes out, and he's like, oh, look at the bird. Yep. That bird definitely fell from a tree, and we kind of investigated where it came from. It's like some CSI shit, like some bird detective shit. Yeah! And at this point, my dog's in a weird state where everybody's yelling at him, and he just wants to eat that fucking bird. So he's just like pinned back, just like because he can't breathe either. And we go over to the bird, and Dr. J pulls on his detective glasses, investigates him, asks him what's wrong, taps the knee thing, does the whole thing, and gives him a little and
turn your head and cough, all that.
Yeah, all that nonsense. And he's like, oh, well, the bird's just he's just in that state where he just falls out of the tree. So the mom flew away. Like as soon as it happened, she was like, fucking y'all, you can't fly out about this shit. But you could hear her from like behind my house, like calling back, like, hey, you guys good?
While
the babies, and there are two of them.
While these strange bipedal beings are standing there going, I wonder if it's gonna die. I don't know. Go get the other bipedal being to come and look and investigate to see if it's gonna die.
Just pick it up, fucking throw it. You know.
To be fair, that bird mom just saw a bunch of giants standing around his fucking son. It was like, fuck parenting.
Fight or flight,
well,
real
see,
hard.
at this point. Well,
single life's a life for me.
Well, he was explaining it to the person who thought throwing a bird means it can fly, and me not knowing what a bird is at that point, because he pretty much taught us, listen, there were other birds falling from the sky.
Now it's just raining birds,
and they're
just like Chicken Little.
They just sound like this. I have no idea what's going on. So he's like, oh, it's cool. And just leave him there. It's all good. I mean, they lost a bit of feathers. My dog, it was the comedic thing. I had to pull a feather out of his mouth. And they were just sitting there. And it's like, well, that's just kind of nature. And we were just like, okay, that's cool. Joey picked him up. And he's like, cool. And he was like, I should take him in. And
he whispered to it.
He was like, he was just like, go. And he was like, no, and he wanted to take it in, but Michelle was like, no, we're not taking another bird. And then that's when he told me the bird thing where he nursed the bird to health. Mm-hmm. And he just whispered to him, and he was like, and the bird was like, yes, my daddy. And then he like just put him back with the other babies that fell from the sky that just looked like a little pile of turd emojis, like white turd emojis, like fat birds are just like on the ground. And he just
like tiny little triangles with faces on them.
Yeah. And they were just on the ground, and he was like, I wonder if they're hungry. So he does this magic shit where he's just like, and he like touched their nose, and they both go, ah! Like, he's like, yep, they're hungry. And I'm like, how do you know these things? Like, it's really weird. It's like he just pressed the bird, and I have a bird's nose, so it's pretty accurate. So he just goes, yep, and he goes,
you do kind of have one of those like Galapagos noses that's like good for clawing at things or something.
I should try that. I mean, that's how I should break up my food.
Yeah.
Next time we go to like a pizza place, I'll just start breaking up my food with my nose. Yeah, my dad's like, and at that point he's like, oh, he's hungry. He says, all right, Mark, if you see a worm, just go look for one. Just fucking put it in its mouth or something. And Dr. J is like, no. They have to be regurgitated. My dad's like, oh, they're just putting it in your mouth and then spitting it. And my dad's like, yeah, this is what you do. Just fucking throw it in the air and spit in its mouth. It's all good. Them fucking birds will come back to life.
Hey, Mark, go over there and spit on those birds.
And Dr. J's like, nope, the best thing to do is just to go inside. And my dad's like, no, stay right here. I want to watch.
All right, Mark, you heard him. Bring the birds inside. They're going to have spaghetti with us.
Mark, go give me a beer. You ever watched birds feed themselves? It's just fantastic.
Fuck this nature documentary. This is life.
Mark, you're going to have to move out of the house. I'm a bird dad now.
At this point, Mark is nearly on tears because he has a huge passion for animals, as most kids do.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that death is a common occurrence amongst primitive species.
Death is an everyday occurrence across every species. So,
yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Usually ones that are smaller and can't quite determine whether today is the day that a giant dog just jumps and attacks their family.
I hate it when my cats are so big that they're dogs.
And I do equate it to the scene where Anakin goes and raids the Sand People, because that is what it looks like.
Anakin, no!
Yeah.
You were just standing there, and then you heard a little bird go,
and then I knew I had to save the day. And that was that story. Does anybody have a good story to tell after that?
I think Mitchell had one.
Oh, yeah, I was at the theater today.
You mean is it still the theater?
Yeah,
Till when?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
By the time this show comes out, no, it would not be a movie theater anymore.
Yeah,
the
tomorrow's
Regal location.
Technically the last day of operation, but one of our favorite cops that does security for us, Bucky, was there. We were just shooting the shit. It was good to see him because I haven't seen him in a while, and he was talking about the new It movie. And just to give you a profile of Bucky. So Bucky's seriously 6'3", 220, built like a linebacker, right? Former SWAT officer, cop, okay? Yeah. Bucky don't take no shit from nobody. Yeah. Bucky's the type of dude that don't run because if he catches you, it's gonna be a worse day for you. Yeah. And so Bucky was talking about the new It movie. He says, "Have you seen the trailer for that movie?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I think it's gonna be great." You know, I always say that the trailer makes me uncomfortable, which it does, and I think that that's great for a horror movie. He was talking about it. He says, "I don't want to see it." I said, "Why not?" Well, I was like, "Oh, you don't think it's gonna be good?" He goes, "No, I'm too scared." And so that brought up the talking point. I thought I'd bring it up on the show. Do you think this movie could be too scary?
Do you think kids in it?
But that doesn't mean that it can't be.
I don't know the source material. So I think Stranger Things. And Stranger Things got a lot from It. Stranger Things took a lot from It.
Yeah,
and then now I imagine It's going to take a lot of things from Stranger Things because that's what worked.
Right. And
so I think they're going to tone it down.
I could see that, but I also know the source material, and the source material is pretty fucking terrifying. Yeah. The book...
I hope that it is too scary. I hope that it starts a kind of revivalist horror movie thing. Which is something that we've started to see. We've started to see different horror movies, like Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't even want that. I just want...
Green Room.
I don't even want that.
Yeah. No, well,
Green Room was... it wasn't really a horror movie.
It was more of a
thriller.
Gore, yeah, but there was a lot of gore in it.
Yeah.
It kind of
played on that.
It's tough to say what a horror movie is now because the horror genre has been so...
Well, there's so many different subgenres of horror.
Horror, it's been so melted now.
Yeah.
Horror has done the thing that kind of pop music has done to music, where it's kind of... Like, when you think of music now, everyone goes, oh, new music now, it's just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all the same song. And if you listen to pop music, if you listen to the top 40 radio station, it all does kind of sound like the same song. And if you watch horror movies, a lot of the horror movies within the past 5 years kind of feel like the same movie with the jump scares. And there are exceptions, of course.
Well, I just think that a good horror movie plays on your personal fears more than obviously slasher movies are fun to watch, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that what constitutes a good horror movie is something that actually scares you, something that really makes you not want to sleep with the light off kind of movie. What comes to mind is The Grudge. That movie plays on your fears really well. What's in your attic at night and things like that. It really plays on what you feel, when you're afraid of the dark, and not in a goofy way, in a very serious way. The only thing about that is that that's an adaptation of a Japanese horror movie, and those are seriously the scariest movies I've ever watched. It's just because I've watched the original Grudge movies, the Japanese ones, and it's so subtle until you start to recognize what's going on, and then you just feel like you're on this roller coaster that you can't stop for 2 hours.
Well, you see, I think the best horror movies are from when they're not put when you're more engaged with the characters in that way. Where we saw Get Out and Green Room, which we'll note, and Don't Breathe maybe, as our last three in the last calendar year best horror movies. Mm-hmm. And it's because the characters are so compelling, and it's not the traditional caricatures, and where we know what the characters are. They go in the room that we tell them not to go into, or they just follow. They have the same storyline. They're just a bunch of kids go to a abandoned cabin and all ghosts break loose, and you kind of get that. And then basing off of your fears is what would you do in that situation? And if the characters are well enough to adapt that, and you believe their situation that they're in, and if it's something new, those three movies. Aside from maybe Don't Breathe, because I feel like that's a subject maybe that's been done before. I don't know. Well, they all seem new to me.
I think that Don't Breathe is more of a hybrid between the type of horror movie that we're talking about and the type of horror movie that we've seen. Because even when they come into the house, you see that the main character is kind of the character that we're thinking of, the character who plays it smart, the character who does the right thing. But much like a horror movie, he's with the kid that's oh, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Let's take this money and get the fuck out. He's an old man. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you're watching the movie and you're like, that old man knows what he's doing. You haven't even seen him yet.
He dies pretty early, too. So
he does die pretty early.
Which makes sense, because that would be the guy who would die first.
But that's what makes the movie so compelling, is that he dies so early, and then you see the the smart kid kind of try to play it out in his head.
And you really, like, there's a very solid moment in that movie where you really feel bad for him. Like, you really feel bad for him that he's in that situation because he didn't want to do it. And it's that, like, peer pressure thing that that peer pressure experience that everyone's been through, that you did something that you didn't want to do, but, you know,
I think that, honestly, I think the best, and to be fair, I still haven't seen Get Out, but I think that the best horror movie that I've seen, if it can be classified as that, is Green Room, because the characters, they're not the type of people that, you know, kind of associate themselves with the kind of characters that they end up with.
Yeah.
But they end up in this situation where they literally walk in a door and they see this girl who has been murdered, and everyone else in the room is like, well, she's been killed. We gotta take care of it. Mm-hmm. You know, kind of like a mafia type situation where, you know, it's not pleasant, but it's our job. They kind of have that kind of head about it, and they're like, holy fuck. And I think every character in that movie, especially Anton Yelchin, does a really good job of portraying this, we need to get out of this situation, but holy fuck am I scared, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Mm-hmm. And that's that kind of... And a lot of the characters, you don't predict their deaths because they try to do something and they just die in that movie.
Yeah.
Like the one, like, you know, they think that they've cleared out the main room of people with the shotgun, and they're like, all right, I'm going to go out the front door, and that girl's, like, mauled to death by the dogs.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah. I forget about all that. Yeah, reminding me of that. Right, to kind of reel it back into it, I think that if it's too scary, but if it's not too scary, and if it's maybe met expectations or below expectations, I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, for the source material, it gets darker the second movie. And what they're going to do is they'll do the second movie with the older kids, with their as adults. And it'll be and the story is broken up into two segments, so maybe the first one plays on that fear, but it is children and it is film, so you can only go so far with children and
film,
explicit stuff in R-rated movies.
Yeah.
But in adults, you'll feel more connected to the characters because you'll know them. 10 years? Is it a 10-year difference?
I think it's
something like that. Maybe it's a 10-year gap or 20-year, whatever it is, and you'll get that in the second film. So, if we had to discuss which would be a darker movie or a more scary movie, I would say the second one would be.
Oh, yes.
And just because of that, and the first one, you're establishing this lore, and the clown isn't human. He's a spirit, or like a.
It's a spider.
It's a spider.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like an actual spider?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that is pretty scary.
No, the source material.
No. So he's like a spirit though. It's like a demon.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's a Stephen King thing.
Okay. So yeah, so it's okay. Okay, I get it. So it's more spiritual. Yeah, that's what I thought of. Those are some ghosts, like some anamorphic shit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but as far as that goes, I think it'll be dark. It'll be dark, and it'll be scary, and it looks that way. It looks like it's gonna be.
It looks like it's gonna play.
But
like,
I can also see it not. I can also see people coming away from it like, that wasn't that scary. Because if you're not bothered by the images you've seen in the trailers,
right,
you might not be pulled into it. But it could be in the scenario and in the tone of the film and how the pacing of, like, the stuff goes when you first see the clown or the other times you see the clown.
Like what you were saying with characters, I feel that even if the content of the movie isn't scary, that maybe you can take away, you know, the character, you can associate with the characters and take that can make it a little more real for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is the characters are kids. They're not, you know, full-grown adults. They're gonna have a more exaggerated, almost, reaction to this kind of.
Maybe not though, because I think it's gonna be more like Stranger Things than anything, and I think I'm pretty sure that they took a lot from what they knew from it. And kind of toned it down and made it more wideband. And of course, Stranger Things was huge as it is.
Yeah.
And they'll see that and say, you know what, that's the audience we need to go for. And they'll like it. And if it's a little bit darker, and there's even a kid in Stranger Things in that movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know the kid's name, but the one who I think looks like Kylo Ren, like as a kid.
Right.
Yeah. So they even added the kid in there. So maybe they could take a page from now what Stranger Things has done to that kind of source material and add it up and made it interesting. Because did you see the MTV clip that they released? It was like a clip trailer
from a couple days ago.
From It.
Yeah.
Where they walk into the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to pull that up. While I do that though, you have something for Jeremy, and it kind of relates to the horror thing. You wanna go get those?
I'll get it because I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So just keep talking and I'll get it.
Yeah.
Talking, yes. Why do we always do this and I have nothing left to talk about?
I'm excited to see it, and I'm not a horror person, and I think that really says a lot to it really attests to it because it looks scary to me, and I don't really fuck with that.
Yeah.
And especially with the Blumhouse. Blumhouse is the production company doing it.
Yeah.
I stay away from their movies.
Well, yeah, because their movies are pretty.
Yeah, I mean they put out some shit that makes a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And usually it's really scary.
Yeah.
So like
And
The
so
Conjuring, all that stuff I stay away from.
That's what I like. That's what I feel like is carrying the momentum of this movie. And the trailers are done really well. They don't give away a lot of what's going on, and they set what what I feel the tone of the movie could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's this very dark. The one thing that I do like about looking at like everything that I've seen in the trailers is that the sewer is very dark, obviously, like a sewer would be. But that during the day, it's not always like super grayscale.
Yeah, it's not eerie. It looks real.
It looks real. It looks like, oh, that's a normal like day. You know what I mean? Like the one place that looked really kind of weirdly eerie to me was do you remember the fat kid in the classroom? Do you remember that scene?
Oh, with the balloon
and how kind of eerie it looks. But I feel like that's gonna play from this is a normal school day to they see the balloon and then it starts to like dawn on them what's going on, you know, and it starts like it's that subtle change and in the like scale. I think the movie's gonna be shot very well. It's gonna look really good. This is hilarious, by the way. I wish that they could see what's going on.
Yeah, him just
Spider-Man.
But with
Thank you.
with the theater closing, we have a lot of
You can sit down and talk about it.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff upstairs, and so
Actually, it'd be better if you sat down and talked.
I found this poster in one of the rooms the other day, and it's not something that you get to see every day.
Yeah, it works. You'll just have to
Turn it a little
sway
bit.
it. You have to. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that is crazy.
It's the Ring 2 poster.
It's lenticular. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, lenticular.
Lenticular.
I just-
Is that past tense?
Lenticular. It was, yeah, because they don't make these anymore. Maybe the process is a little too expensive, I guess. But
yeah, especially
really
for the
not make
rings
them
too.
no, I haven't seen one since I've seen these. I've seen probably. I know there was Men in Black 3 one. There was this one. There was a Narnia one, a Narnia 3D one.
One that I know that they made that I thought about buying in the vein that Matthew bought the Treasure Planet poster is they made one for Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Then it was Ice Age 3D. Yeah, those that was. I haven't seen one ever since then. This is they're very dated, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was cool, so I gave it to Jeremy because. Not that I don't want it, but
Was that a good movie? Rings 2? I feel like it wasn't.
It wasn't awful.
Did you see it?
I've seen it. It's been a long
When
time.
you were younger. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool poster. Hold it up again. And do the little lenticular thing. Yeah, it's great. There was a boy in that movie. Is that what that is?
I guess I don't really remember.
I guess
that.
it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
All right, show them.
Fun
Actually-
fact: in the ring, the girl in the ring is the girl from Lilo and Stitch.
Same actress.
Same actress.
She's
Lilo
the
from
girl
Lilo
with
and
the
Stitch.
hair down.
Yeah, she's the girl with the hair down in the ring.
Does she have a ring? One ring for rule them all.
Maybe.
I don't know if she's the girl in the ring.
I would
too.
stay pretty far away. Even the new one, I wouldn't even watch. Well, maybe because it's pretty comedic.
Oh, it's bad.
So,
Here's
Oh,
so
the
you
other-
you got Jeremy this poster.
Yep.
This is more of a me thing than a good movie.
What is that?
thing.
I see a fist. What's the name?
That is Hands of Stone.
Hands of Keystone.
And
Hands
Jago.
of, Hands of Keystone.
Your face popped out of that poster. And Mr. Jago, why is that movie significant to you?
This movie is significant to me because I am half Panamanian. My mother's from Panama. I've lived in Panama for a short while. And the movie Hands of Stone is about the boxer Roberto Duran, who fights Sugar Ray Leonard very famously and beat him. He wasn't necessarily a great boxer. He just kind of understood the psychology of fighting someone else. And that's what this movie really portrayed, and it did a really good job of...
I thought it was a fine movie, too.
Yeah.
It did a really good job of showing that he wasn't a great boxer, but he kind of understood where his head should be.
Mm-hmm.
And it had Ruben Blades, one of my favorite artists. And...
the only Panamanian actor ever allowed in movies.
Yep. He's in Fear the Walking Dead. He's been in a few movies, actually. He ran for president of Panama in the past, I think in 96 or something. He said he's going to run for Panama again in the next year or two.
Oh,
so look out for that.
They're allowed to... Nice plug
Ruben
for the
Blades
country
for
of Panama.
president, 2020.
Yeah.
So, actually here I have the second trailer of it pulled up. Jeremy, Mitchell, you said you saw this.
I saw it.
Jeremy, you have not seen this.
I have not seen it.
I've not seen this.
Did I not drop it in the group?
I don't think anybody did.
I watched literally like movie clips put it up, and I was like, "Huh, what's this?" Like the hour they put it up, and I watched it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, 6 days ago. So let's see. Well, bear with me because I'm gonna have sound rolling here too. So let's just see how well this works. I don't know how loud I can put it.
There's the Trans Am.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I heard that Trans Am.
So this is all like the kid stuff that, like the Stranger Things.
But when you're alone as a kid,
I like that shot too.
Mm-hmm.
the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer until it's too late.
Where's Megan? Nowhere. Okay, well, I'm sorry to get itchy. I'm pretty sure this is not.
Do you use the same bathroom as your mother?
Sometimes, yeah.
You probably have crabs.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that's the kid from Stranger Things.
Onion?
Yeah.
That one.
It's gray water.
What the hell is gray water?
It's basically piss and shit. So I'm just telling you, you guys are splashed around in millions of already pee. So, are you serious? What are you?
Doesn't smell.
He's got a fanny pack.
Have you ever heard of a staph infection? A staph infection.
So unsanitary. You're literally, this is literally like swimming inside of a toilet bowl right now. You're the reason why we're in this position right now.
These kids are great.
Whose sneaker is it?
It's Betty Rose's.
What if she's still here?
I wonder if that's part of the score. That's the big triangle thing. Yeah, there's a whole lot of nope.
Yeah. See, how like uncomfortable that makes you. Like you know what's gonna happen, but it's still you're just like
I don't fuck with that clown.
you're just so engaged in it. I don't know. I'm very excited for that movie. I really hope. It's
What'd you
good.
think, Jeremy?
I thought it was... I mean, it kept me on the edge of my seat. You know, and I thought about this while watching the trailer. Not to take away from the trailer, but another horror movie that came out in the past year that we didn't talk about was Split.
Oh yeah, more of a thriller based than horror.
Yeah.
Out of all of the ones, it's more thriller, more psychological. You know, there's always a lot going on.
Because I thought of...
But it is horror. You're right.
More of... It has more of a real takeaway sense, like the scene in Split when the beast is devouring the blonde girl.
Mm.
And yeah, that's a horror scene for me.
Yeah, I do forget how much. And when I say not horror, it is weird because we talk about that melting pot of horror movies now. I don't think of like purely scary, and it is a horror movie in the purest sense of the.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to draw the line because of because you have all these cheesy kind of jump scare horror movies.
To me, it's like one of those things. Like, is a comedy movie a movie that makes you laugh, and is a horror movie a movie that makes you scared? And it doesn't really have to. A horror movie could just be, it's just based on whatever story they're telling. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to like the kids more than I'm going to like the clown, that's for sure. I don't know the balloon things, the balloon pyramid. That look kind of strange. So, I don't know what those have to play. Maybe he's a spider inside of a balloon, like a hamster in a wheel.
Mm.
So maybe there's something going on there. I'm trying to throw out some theories here. Trying to
They're
drop
gonna-
some.
What do you think they're gonna pop the balloon and a bunch of spiders are gonna crawl out?
Fuck that. Yeah.
That
Like a
fucked me
preg-
up.
like
No,
a
I was
pregnant
gonna say,
spider?
I feel like if they preface the spider thing, that of all the people that I'm gonna really feel bad for, Trevor's gonna sit there like,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you
gonna-
know I will.
That's gonna be.
I don't like this. I don't like this. No. Nope.
You know that I'm gonna be. As soon as I heard spider, I was like, oh, I don't know about this movie anymore.
A
Maybe I
clown.
shouldn't see it.
A clown spider.
Spiders fuck me up.
So we actually have another trailer for us to watch,
Hmm.
and I think you guys have seen it. It's Bladerunner.
I didn't watch the
new
Blade
one.
Runner
Oh, you
trailer,
didn't?
actually.
Okay, so this should
Oh,
be
so it's
interesting.
interesting because I've seen it and he hasn't.
Okay, and
Which is opposite
I've
the
seen
last
it.
one.
I've seen it, and I have a love-hate relationship with this new movie. I think this is the best, worst thing to ever happen, and I'll explain why after we watch the trailer. And the trailer, I believe, is beautiful. Can we hear it? We're good.
Yeah.
No, it does this stupid.
Yeah.
You know these stupid shits.
Yeah.
The
fuck
5
those.
second thing.
Fuck those 5-second things. Nice Atari.
Every civilization
I heard this voice and I was like, oh,
was
That's
built
probably what I
off the back of a disposable workforce.
Don't break me down.
Happy birthday.
There is an order to things. That's what we do here. We keep order. The world is built on a wall that separates kind. Tell either side there's no wall, you bought a war.
You're a cop. I did your job once. I was good at it. I know. What do you want? I want to ask you some questions. The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me. You know you're here.
I always told you, you're special. Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
okay. I'm going to do that thing where I ask a bunch of questions and I'm going to answer them all really quickly. Is this movie necessary? No. Is this movie worth the budget that it has? No. Does Harrison Ford ever need to run again? No. Is Ryan Gosling absolutely unnecessary in this movie? Yes. Is Jared Leto insane? Absolutely. Do I want to see this movie? Fuck yes.
Wait, is Jared Leto's character insane or Jared Leto insane?
I said Jared Leto insane. Jared Leto's pretty insane.
As a person? Yeah,
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah, he's insane.
Break me down!
I do love his character though. So to piece it together, Jared Leto is the first person we hear from, and he's one of the guy who builds the Sentinels or whatever the fuck the robots are called.
Right.
And the whole thing with the first movie is like, is somebody a real person or blah, 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 blah. That's what Harrison Ford said. And Ryan Gosling's character is a new cop.
Right.
Like, or whatever they called it, a new cop that Harrison Ford was in the first movie.
Right.
My thing is, I totally understand the story. It's seriously by the books. The guy, he's just the new character, or he's the new cop. Then he has to learn from the old cop. about the new rebel uprising of
watching
the drones. or
watching
whatever.
that the pretty much only reason that I want to watch this movie is because I want to see what it looks like. Because
Visually stunning.
visually, all of
Every single shot was beautiful.
it all looked great.
Yeah, those were all wallpaper
Story
shots.
wise, I literally could go home and watch this movie right now.
Yeah, you nailed it on the head. I hate this movie already. This movie cost $250 million to make.
That's
The first movie cost $60 million and made $40 million 30 years ago. I don't think anybody knows what the fuck Blade Runner is. It's a cult classic amongst hardcore film fans.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen this movie? The first one.
less than 5.
Less than 5, so you've seen it a lot. You've seen it a good amount of times?
That's
Maybe
that is
like
like
that's a
that's
good
a
amount
maybe
of
like
times.
2 or 3 times.
I can tell you right now.
There are 4 versions of the movie. Do you know which one you've seen?
Fuck no.
Voiceovers?
I can't.
If they're
remember.
voiceovers,
It's
they're
been
with
it's
Reese
been a
Witherspoon.
while.
Jeremy,
I can tell you right now that I've only seen it once, and I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
I don't think you can tell me what the movie is about. You have a bit on the show where you do a movie member. Do you think you could movie member
No,
to me?
I don't.
the
I
Blade
could.
Runner
I
movie?
can tell you that I could not movie member this movie. I'll movie member a different movie,
I mean, I've seen it.
and
Like,
he can movie. He could movie member it.
I don't think I could movie member
And
it.
that right there, that's the problem with Blade Runner. It doesn't fucking make sense to wide range movie audiences. The people who understand it have seen it multiple times. I've seen this movie once. I've seen the final director's cut, Ultimate Extended Edition, which is I think what it's called. It's the one with Harrison Ford. The whole movie. This movie's insane. Of course it's a great piece of storytelling. It's one of the greatest films of all time and one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. It's not your Indiana Jones. It's not your Han Solo. This is a different character in a different movie.
Right.
Ridley Scott, of course. And the new one is going to be equally as mind-fucking, maybe? I don't know. And for the budget it cost, it is seriously a silly idea for this movie to be made.
Yep.
And it's a shot in the spine for I don't know what production company.
It's been in production for a while.
For a long time. Like a
Yeah.
long time.
Cause I've heard about it for
Did
a
it drop?
while.
Is there a production company on there?
Go to the next one.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Columbia.
Films?
Columbia.
Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers.
Warner Brothers. So I don't know. Maybe Warner Brothers distributed, but if Columbia Pictures paid for this movie, they are losing a lot of money. This movie is going to tank. I don't think it's going to. Not that it's going to tank in the sense that they put the bar too high. It's going to tank is nobody's going to see it because it came out. The first one came out 30 years ago. It is a cult classic, but amongst Hollywood people. So everybody in Hollywood knows the movie. But that literally ranges as far as how many people go out to see an Oscar-winning movie every
True.
year,
Yeah.
which is $20 to $30 million.
Yeah.
You know, La La Land made a lot of money. It was able to kind of break that ground. Moonlight won the Oscar and probably made $30 million. I don't know.
I mean,
how much.
show of hands in the room, how many people saw Moonlight?
I mean, I saw it. So yeah, you and
I
saw it.
haven't seen Moonlight.
Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, this is our casual movie-going audience, us three.
Yeah.
So for this movie to be made is silly. I want to see it. I mean, I don't want to shit on a movie, especially one that I haven't seen yet. But just the idea of doing it is just just like I mean, it's why it's 30 years too late.
Well, not even like I said, I'll see it because again, I want to watch it, but like,
Oh yeah. No, it's going to be an absolutely beautiful movie.
I just can't see like what. There is no story element of that trailer that compels me to actually like watch.
Unless there's like a twist in this one, and like Ryan Gosling's he's the robot.
He
was
is
the
a robot.
Because
Like,
like the big theory in the original one was
then,
Harrison Ford was a robot.
But even then, like I don't.
It
interesting
wouldn't feel
to
forced,
see.
so I don't know. But I mean, the people you have behind the movie are what's going to compel me to see it, because they wouldn't greenlight a movie that is literally by the books, and the trailer is by the books.
Well, it'll be interesting.
We can see how the story's going to go.
In a very different sense, you know, the first one is so not by the books that you'd think that this one would also be not by the books, but they might make it by the books to try to compel to a wider audience, which I think would kind of lose the grasp of the people that saw the original.
They try to dumb it down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. With the movie so expensive, you can't afford to be risky. And that's the problem in the film industry as a whole, is that they put so much money behind these stupid movies.
And that's what someone might have came in and said, "Look, this movie's so expensive, you can't do this script. You know, you're gonna have to."
Which is kind of stupid, because movies should be for smarter people, and typically audiences are willing to understand the story, and they don't need to be talked down to.
No,
and nobody wants to do that because it's boring.
Yeah.
And when big expensive movies talk down to people, they're fucking stupid, and they're just waste of time. And I understand you're trying to get a wide audience, but you're not showing me anything cool. Like, for instance, the Fast and Furious movies. I was going to say Transformers, but those are just fucked around from the beginning.
I mean, Fast and Furious is the first one that came to mind.
The stories are dumbed down, but they have compelling good versus evil.
Have you watched the last one?
I haven't seen the new one, and that's why I hesitated for a second. But the thing is with that is it shouldn't matter what the material is. I mean, the material should be what brings people into the theaters.
Right.
And it shouldn't be dumbed down just because it's a sequel. It's like, oh, remember that movie? Remember this movie? Well, we doing it again. There you go.
In an ideal situation, a movie is dumbed down, but you don't realize it.
Okay. Example.
I can't really think of an example right now.
Okay. Mitchell.
I'll have to think about it.
Not the example. Continue with your Fast and Furious.
Oh.
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
Mitchell, give me an example.
Oh no. I mean, I feel like the Fast and Furious franchise knows their target audience, and they're not trying to put out like an Oscar-winning movie. They're not trying to do that. That's not what. I feel like this movie is going to
try to be too ambitious.
It's going to take itself too seriously and try and dumb things down, and then you get this weird middle ground here.
That makes sense.
Where you have a bad movie.
I don't know. And the thing is,
like, where it's gonna try and be like, there's gonna be a lot of explaining to Ryan Gosling, which is explaining to us. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be 90% of the driving force of the movie.
I think a good movie. I've been trying to think about it. A good movie that, again, doesn't feel like it's dumbed down, but kind of is kind of more of a sense of the classic movies, in that the plot is so blunt that it doesn't need to be explained to the main character.
Gone with the Wind. No, I'm just kidding.
Mitchell's favorite movie ever.
Honestly, like, movies.
Gone with the Wind is a good fucking movie.
It is.
Movies where audiences already grasp the general concept because they don't need to be explained, so they're dumbed down. But it doesn't feel that way because they don't need to be explained. Like Jurassic Park or like Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, you get Jaws.
Jaws.
You see the poster for Jaws, a shark's coming.
Yeah.
Like, it's Shark Attack. You get that. It doesn't need to be dumbed down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a dumb almost plot point. Like, there's not a lot of sophistication to it. A shark's attacking people. And it's a big shark.
But you don't think that Blade Runner is too sophisticated? Or you think it is and they're going to have a problem trying to dumb it down?
I think that the first Blade Runner is too sophisticated.
I think
and that's why I think that 2049 might almost have an identity crisis.
I think that it's going to try and be sophisticated and dumbed down at the same time, and you can't have that.
The movie came out 30 years ago, and it's not like it's Star Wars, where you expect... They can't expect everyone that comes into Blade Runner having seen Blade Runner is the problem.
And that's going to be a big problem. I can tell you that, because a lot of people have not seen the original one. And the people who have, like us three sitting here, you two couldn't recite the movie back then.
No, I can tell you that I'll have to watch Blade Runner before I see 2049.
I can tell you maybe 3 or 4 plot points in the movie, and I saw it within the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what version I saw. I'd have to watch it again. Even if I watched it again, I probably wouldn't even understand it. But the thing is, since that movie's come out, though, there have been a lot of movies that have picked apart pieces and elements from it, which is kind of why we understand what the story is for this one.
Yeah.
So maybe, and I'll play maybe devil's advocate on this one, maybe if they do that kind of edgy storytelling, it won't feel very edgy. It'll be good, but it won't feel too out there because we've seen a lot of movies that are like this now, and a lot of movies who have taken pages from Blade Runner before. And since Blade Runner, obviously 30 years, there have been a lot of films inspired, even if by that much by it, that it has kind of put in our brains these story points that they're telling us where we're not quite sure where the hero is going, we're not quite sure what this world is, but we'll slowly understand it. And maybe that's kind of where we need to go with the next one. That maybe the audience is ready for a sequel. So I don't know.
I mean, we've seen a lot of science fiction movies in that 30 years that kind of deal with AI type,
human android
situations.
Artificial intelligence.
I was gonna say
the first one that
I was gonna say AI, Ex Machina, iRobot, that have really done it really well. And even like Ex Machina won an Oscar.
Yeah. Well, visual effects, yeah.
Yeah, well, visual effects.
I mean, I don't know if it was nominated for writing, but that is a damn good movie. I have a presentation on Monday, and we picked a scene. We picked any scene. We were allowed to pick any scene from any movie, and we had to break it down in 12 minutes or less. And I was like, damn, there's so many. Like, I mean, you think about it while I'm saying that, while I'm explaining it. But in my head, there were so many movies that came to my head. I was like, I don't know which one. This is like, and even if you picked a movie, it's like, what scene could you possibly go to? And for some reason in my head, I was like, Ex Machina. That movie really stuck with me, and I think that's my favorite movie in the past few years. I think since like The Departed, like I try to go back every year and it's like, what's the best movie of that, and what's the best movie of that, and then I like place them to determine which one. I was like, I want to do a recent one because I want to know what affected me at the perfect age, and I was like, Ex Machina really did. And I saw that movie by myself in a theater because it was an Ex Machina in a small town. And I was like, that movie really affected me. And I watched it like 4 times and I showed you it. And I was like, this movie's fucking amazing. And I was like, oh, now what scene? I'm like, all right. And I picked the first session scene. So when she's first introduced, really silhouette. It's a cinematography class, so I had to talk about the visual storytelling of it. And I was like, damn, this movie, it really fits with me. So I could see that. And if they did take a route like that, but that movie is very small and concealed. And I've talked about on the show before that I really love small and concealed movies because I understand where the characters are in relation to the world. And I'm like, okay, well, they're in the house.
Well, that's...
Listen, General Hux, you're staying in that building. You ain't going anywhere. They locked the doors on you. I know where you are. You good. Nobody's popping out of here.
That's the thing about small and concealed movies is you don't get a lot of outside elements. You really get to learn the characters, and you really do. And the thing about, like, Oscar Isaac's character in that movie is he's so all over the place.
Yeah.
He's that kind of genius character. Because obviously, when
He's
you
a
said
mad
that...
scientist.
Yeah.
When you said that, I kind of had a feeling that the one you would do is the first session scene. I really like the scene where he walks in on Oscar Isaac and he's dancing with the other girl.
Yeah, the other robot.
Because when you see that in the movie, it's so jarring because of the circumstances that's going on. Because the main character is really starting to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's really starting to see Oscar Isaac as a bad guy. And you see him dancing, and he's like, come over here, dance! And it's that, it's not a foreign trope, like, it's not something new to Ex Machina. This kind of, character representative where the character who's the bad guy doesn't know he's doing something bad. But that's what's compelling about a bad guy.
Well, see, in that thing, he's like, he knows what he's building. He knew what the end game was. The end game is one's going to escape. It's going to be, and even visually in the first session, as what I did as one of my talking points, is that we're supposed to believe that Donald Gleason's character is going into this room and like a zoo, learning from her. But visually, the story tells us otherwise. That she has all this space, and he walks in this tiny room, and she's observing him. And then he eventually knows what the outcome of it is. Did you guys, and just kind of wrap up before this becomes into an Ex Machina fest, which I would love, because because the other day, Thursday, when I knew about the project, I was like, I'll just do some of it. I watched the movie twice. I watched all 3 documentaries based off the movie, and then I watched that scene again, played at half speed, so I could like visually count out everything. And I have like so much shit. I'm gonna wait until he boos me off stage because I've talk so much. Have you guys thought of a movie that you would have picked, or a scene something that came to your head? Even if it's not the best one, was there a scene that came to your head that would like visually is one of the best pieces of storytelling in your opinion?
I mean, I guess in recent history, probably kind of the same vein that you were saying with Ex Machina being like a closed world type of movie. I felt kind of the same way about Get Out. Kind of with it. It all kind of takes place at the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a whole lot of world that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
It's all based on what you see through Chris's point of view. And when he starts to figure out what's going on, or even the kind of the reveal of what's when he goes back into the room to get his phone, right before him and Rose are supposed to leave, and he finds the pictures, and because the foreshadowing of that closet, he looks at it before and is like, I should go over there, and then he's like, swerve. But when he's you and him realize what's going on at the same time. And I guess that's just the storytelling. There isn't any words that have to be spoken there, obviously. But you go, oh shit, this bitch is crazy. And then you're like, all right, Chris has got to go, let's get out of here. You know what I mean? I feel like that, again, with storytelling from a perspective of from me sitting in a seat, I think about what I would do in that situation and realize, that I would follow along the same footsteps that Chris does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one that stuck with me, I guess. Is that, that entire movie that I feel it was done really well.
You want to guess what movie I'm going to pick?
Lilo and Stitch.
It's Lilo and Stitch.
It's going to be the scene where where all three of them are on the hammock.
Nope. Nope.
Mitchell,
it's going to be when
it's the opening sequence.
Nope. It's when they're surfing and Stitch is sitting on the beach. It's when they're
honestly, those are really good guesses, but mine is actually near the beginning half of the movie.
Wait, can I get one more guess?
Yes, one more guess.
Is it the dancing scene where Lilo's dancing with the other girls?
That scene makes me cry every time I watch the movie.
Yeah, that's where she's doesn't fit in, right? That was that kind of thing. Okay, it's been a while.
It's not that though. It's the scene where after Cobra Bubbles comes and visits them.
Can't say that with a straight face.
After Bubbles comes and visits them as the social worker and sees everything isn't going well, and Lilo goes to her room, and after a while Nani comes and talks to her. That scene where they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is an animated Disney movie, and in the past we had seen these kind of fairy tale movies. This is right on the back of the Disney Renaissance. So you had The Little Mermaid, you had Mulan, you had The Lion King, and you have a very realist aspect in this conversation between the two sisters, and that's when you really start to realize what's going on, because then you start to realize, oh, this isn't her mom, this is her sister, and you start to realize what happens to the family. And Lilo starts crying while she's talking to her, and it's such a sobering moment in a Disney movie that you see this real, not fairy tale family aspect come to life. And after she leaves, Lilo starts praying for a friend because she hasn't had one in a long time, because she feels very outcasted, which is something you see earlier in the movie. And that's just,
you're gonna make everyone cry.
But
is it visually interesting? No, I'm kidding.
It's such a very well played scene, because it's not something you're expecting from an animated movie.
No, you're absolutely right.
Not even just an animated movie, an animated Disney movie. These are...
It's an animated kids movie and it has such a heavy theme, but on the surface aspect, like if you watch it as a kid, it just you really kind of, it's one of those things that you kind of gloss over, and then when you watch it back
as an adult, like
yeah,
with most Disney movies, when you watch them and realize that, wow, there's a lot of undertones and things that you missed as a kid going back and you watch and you're like, wow, this movie gets really deep. Like, even The Lion King, like, obviously the story, you know, the story is Hamlet. Right. And as an adult, I know that now, and that changes the entire aspect of the movie for me.
Another one that does that kind of thing where watching it as an adult almost gets an entire new aspect is honestly all of the Don Bluth films that Steven Spielberg kind of produced. An American Tail. We watched that recently, and even before we started, because you hadn't seen it, I told you, I'm like, it doesn't feel like a kid's movie.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And The Land Before Time.
Which even more doesn't. I thought it always did.
No, that's a very...
when I was very young, I watched it, yeah.
And again, it as a kid, it's just a movie about dinosaurs.
Yeah. And you're more gravitated towards the visuals.
The only one I can think of is, oh shit, what's the one with the cat in New York? Fuck, what's the name of that movie?
Aristocats.
No, not that one. You know what I'm talking about. Fuck, what's the name of that movie?
Well, I thought of Felix
Secret Life of Pets.
No, god damn it, now I gotta look it up.
Oliver
All right.
Company?
Yes! That movie is real as fuck. Like, that movie is like, whoa, this shit's real heavy. Like, with just,
That movie has a Ruben Blades song in it.
Oh, there you go. That's how we're tying it all together.
Yeah, we're tying it all together.
Wait a minute.
Cheech Martin's character listens to it on the radio.
Is it? Oh shit! Isn't Billy Joel in that movie?
Billy Joel is in that movie.
Yeah.
He sings in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, this is why you come into the basement. We get angry about Bladerunner. You
learn something new every day.
You learn something new every day. You learn more about Ruben Blades than you ever thought you would, hanging out in somebody's basement. You learn about the It trailer. I usually don't wrap up the show
Ruben
like
Blades
this.
for president 2020.
You learn about... shut up. If you say his name 2 more times, he's walking in the door.
Ruben Blades! Ruben Blades! I want him to come in. I don't know why you said that. It's not like...
He'd bust through the window. That's what he would
awesome.
do. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Mitchell Cimino, the boss.
Yeah.
And Jago, Jeremy Ross.
You remember when I said a great show? Honestly, this has been probably the most grounded show. The one where we talk the most about movies.
Do you know why? Because there's no Britt or Connor.
Wait, you mean the 2 people who watch movies the least?
Maybe.
There was no UFC comments the whole movie.
Maybe.
The whole show.
And we might have only peaked audio twice.
Maybe.
Probably when I was yelling about birds and we were yelling about Ruben Blades or whatever. But...
Ruben Blades for president!
This is why you watch the show. This is why you hang out in the basement. Not you watch the show. Nobody watches the show. But you hang out and you listen to our fun cast of characters. Like Jago and the boss. And for me, Rocco Shapiro. What?
Well, you said the boss, so I thought Bruce Springsteen immediately.
And when he said Bruce Springsteen, I thought of Keith Stone!
Because everything comes back to Keith Stone.
Keith Stone, the Bruce Springsteen of beers!
Thanks for hanging out with us. Come back next time. The door is always unlocked.